Good afternoon and welcome to another Southwestern Athletic Conference telecast hosted by the Hornet Sports Network. My name is DeQuan Lee and it is Greek night here at the Dunn Oliver Acadome on the campus of Alabama State University. For the first game of our doubleheader, your Lady Hornets take on the Lady Panthers of Prairie View A&M. It is the first of two matchups between these in-conference foes as Alabama State looks to stop a four-game skid and get back in the win column following a 10-point loss to Alcorn State this past Monday. For Prairie View, they look to make it 3 games in a row following consecutive wins against Mississippi Valley State and Arkansas Pine Bluff. Of course, this is just the first game of our 2-game homestand. Today, the women and the men will take on the Panthers, and on Monday, the Hornets will face off against the Tigers of Texas Southern. Now for your starting lineups for the evening, starting with the Prairie View Panthers. Verducia Peters, Tatiana Perez make up the 2 guards. Diana Rosenthal and Kiesia Williams make up the front court, and Kennedy Paul will man them at center. For your Alabama State Hornets, Ayana Emanuel and Jayla Crawford start at the 1 and the 2. Aaliyah Nelson and Anaya Smith will make up your front court, and Hannah White will be at the wing position. Again, this will be the first of our 2 games here. The ladies will take on the Panthers, and afterwards, immediately, the men will have their chance. Now, the big things to take note of in this game is how much production we get out of the big 3 for the Hornets. The big 3, so to speak, are Ayana Emanuel, who averages 11 points a game, and she leads the team in scoring. Just under her is Jayla Crawford. She averages just under 11 points at 10.8. And then there's freshman Anaya Smith, who's coming off a pretty strong performance. She led the team in scoring in that loss against Alcorn State. She put forth an 18-point and 5-rebound performance. Off the tip, Alabama State will have the possession. See the Hornets getting to their sets. They tend to run more motion offense than anything. Tough pass by Hannah White. Early turnover for the Hornets, and in transition, the Panthers get the first buckets of the afternoon. That one by Tatiana Perez, the 5'5" guard out of Cypress, Texas. Most of the offense is run through Hannah White and Courtney Lee, who will come off the bench later on in the first quarter. Pass fouled by Emanuel. Jumper deflected. It will remain Alabama State ball. Now, coaching for the Hornets, it is head coach Frida Freeman in her 22nd season as the head coach here at Alabama State, which is also her alma mater, as we have a shot clock violation. Alabama State turnover. Now, last year for head coach Frida Freeman Jackson, she led the Hornets to a 10-8 conference record, good for 6th place, but at that time she was relying heavily on a lot of younger players, freshmen and sophomores. A lot of pressure by Alabama State early. We'll have a foul call. It'll be the freshman Anaya Smith on the call. It's her first. 20 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Lady Hornets opting to play man thus far, as you see the pretty little dime. Kennedy Paul on that score, her first bucket. She has her first 2 of the night. On defense, the Lady Hornets tend to play more zone, as you see the trap on Ayana Emanuel. Elbow jumper off the mark. Offensive rebound by the Hornets. And the putback is up and good. Jayla Crawford has her first two of the evening. Early leak out and no good on the layup, but they'll call a late foul on that one. It's a tough call, late whistle. Ayana Emanuel will pick up that first foul call. Diana Rosenthal will be at the line for the Panthers. First free throw off the mark. So she comes up empty at the line, but she gets her own rebound, and that'll give the Panthers an opportunity to convert on the second chance opportunity. Tries to put the move on, gets tied up. That three-pointer is off the mark. Aaliyah Nessa will clean up. Hannah White on the drive. Tough layup. Looks like it was blocked. And Prairie View will get out in transition. Peters doesn't like the numbers, so she takes it slow. Top of the key jumper by Peters off the mark. Fight for the loose ball. That'll be a jump ball. Should be Alabama State possession. Some early substitution for the Hornets. Kiana Berry is checking in for the Hornets, as well as Courtney Lee. Look to see Courtney Lee in more of a ball handling situation. So after the loose ball, they give the ball back to Prairie View. Off the inbound, jumper off the mark. .27 seconds left on the shot clock, so plenty of time for Prairie View to get a good shot. Off the penetration, layup attempt is no good. And Anaya Smith will clean up on the glass. As I stated earlier, Courtney Lee tends to be the primary ball handler when she comes off the bench for Freeman Jackson. They swing it to Ayana Emanuel. Almost has the ball stolen, and they're going to call a reaching foul. That foul will go against Diana Rosenthal, her first. Good attempt by Ayana Emanuel, no good on the layup, but another offensive rebound for the Hornets. Leads to the Jayla Crawford three ball. Jayla Crawford averaging just under 11 points a game. Shoots just 20% from behind the arc, but she cans in the first of the night. Perez probing. On the drive, Dominique Newman will take the hard contact, and she will be at the line to shoot a pair of free throws. Getting ready to check in for the Hornets, Taisha Rudolph. It'll be her first time seeing minutes in the early contest. First free throw rolls around and rattles in. Second free throw is up and good. And she will give the Panthers an early 6-5 lead. Now, the Lady Hornets tend to fall behind early in first quarters. Opponents have outscored them thus far in the season, 443 points to 337. As you see, the turnover almost committed by Alabama State. Pass was a little too hot. And the Hornets turn it over once again. Now, turnovers were their undoing against Alcorn State. They had a season-high 32 turnovers, and I'm sure that was something that Freeman Jackson stressed to her team to make sure they try to cut down on. Working down low, Mariah Campbell. Shot is up and no good. It'll be Alabama State basketball. Jella Crawford driving to the paint. The pass down low, tough layup attempt off the mark. And the Panthers come up with it. Panthers pushing in transition. Swing pass. And that three-point attempt by Tatiana Perez is good. So Prairie View answers right back after the three-pointer by Jayla Crawford earlier. Courtney Lee directing traffic for the Hornets. She averages just over 3 assists a game. Tough layup is up. Excuse me. And Kiana Berry will be at the line to shoot a pair of free throws. And we'll have a timeout. We'll be back with more from the Dunn Oliver Acadome. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Welcome back to the welcome back to the Dunn Oliver Acadome, where the Hornets trail early 9-5 with 4:30 remaining in the first quarter. Some early shooting numbers for both teams. Alabama State shooting just 2 of 7 in the early goings. They have hit on their early three-pointer attempts by Jayla Crawford, but shoot just 28% in the early goings. Kiana Berry currently at the line to shoot a pair of free throws. Second free throw off the mark. Prairie View cleans up. Peters couldn't handle the rock, and possession will go right back to Alabama State. So full 30-second shot clock for the Hornets. Three-pointer right off the inbound. No good for Taylor Akerson. She's just checked into the game for the first time. Working the elbow. It's Hurd. Hurd sets the screen. Three-point attempts off the mark. And Taylor Akerson will come away with the loose ball. Courtney Lee on the drive, gets her pocket picked. And the Hornets turn it over. Prairie View ball. 3:43 remaining in the first quarter, and the Hornets already have 4 turnovers. 3-point attempt by Hurd off the mark. Akerson with another rebound. Courtney Lee will slowly bring it up for the Hornets. Akerson off the screen. Dump off pass off the mark, and it goes into the hand of Prairie View. The 5th turnover for Alabama State. So turnover is becoming their undoing earlier on in this ball game. Elbow jumper, that is good. Dominique Newman on the bucket. Good hustle by Taylor Akerson, almost gets away with it. But that quick shot is off the mark. Courtney Lee, eyes forward, looking to see what she has. Tough layup, but Anaya Smith will draw the foul and be at the line to shoot a pair of free throws. On the season, she is a 72% free throw shooter. Smith buries both free throws. Alabama State applying more pressure. Panthers probing. Playing the pick and roll on the drive. Layup is up and no good by Berenice Peters. And it'll be a reaching foul. The one on number 11, Diana Rosenthal. That'll be her 2nd foul of the early goings of this game. The Hornets swinging around the perimeter. Pass is intercepted. Panthers out on the brick again. Oh, that's a tough call right there. Taylor Akerson is going to get called for the block. Looks like she stood her ground. But Jada Martin will be at the line to shoot a pair of free throws. First free throw well short. So Martin will split a pair of free throws, and Prairie View will go up 12-8 in the early goings. Less than 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Deep pass to Taylor Akerson. Couldn't handle the pass. Akerson on the drive, and she draws the foul. She will be at the line to shoot a pair of free throws. So Taylor Akerson being aggressive in the early goings of this game. Akerson on the year, a 79% free throw shooter. First attempt swirls through. Akeson goes 1 of 2, but offensive rebound slips out of the hands of Zamoria Clark, excuse me. Looks like it'll remain Alabama State basketball. Akeson in the corner, dumps it down low. Pass again is intercepted. Panthers on the fast break. Pretty Euro step. And Kiana Tolbert will come up with the deuce. That's her first bucket of the afternoon. Clark, contested elbow jumper, well short. So Hornets go 1 and done on the offensive end. Set the check back in for the Hornets. Anaya Smith and Jayla Crawford come back into the game. Akerson and Clark will both have a seat. 1 minute to go in this first quarter. Hornets trailing early 14-9. Low post position. Strong drive by Williams, no good. And the Hornets come away with the loose ball. White finds Rudolph. Rudolph ties up. Hannah White will find the open Jayla Crawford for the corner three, her second three-pointer of the game. She cuts this lead to 2. And the Panthers will get called for a travel with 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter, giving Alabama State an opportunity to close the quarter on a good note. Still plenty of time to get off a good shot. Good pass by White. And Anaya Smith will be back at the free throw line to close the quarter with a pair of free throws. This is her second trip to the free throw line, where she buried her first 2 attempts. So Smith goes 2 for 2 at the free throw line again. 3 seconds remaining. And that attempt will be blocked by some stout defense by Hannah White. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. Alabama State closes the first quarter on a 5-0 run. Jayla Crawford leads the way with 8 points thus far. Anaya Smith is right behind her with 4 points. For the Panthers, Tatiana Perez leads with 5 points. Welcome back to the beginning of the second quarter where the Hornets are all knotted up with Prairie View A&M. Hannah White on the ball early, but it was Jayla Crawford who came away doing most of the damage for Alabama State. She finished the quarter with 8 points, as you see her at the top of the key. Jumper by Taylor Eckerson is off the mark. And it will be Panther basketball. Now, Prairie View is going through a bit of a scoring drought. They've been held scoreless the past almost 2 minutes. They're 1 of 4 in their last attempts. As the baby hook off the mark. Hannah White comes away with the loose ball. White on the drive. Layup is up and in. Hannah White scores her first 2 after starting the night 0 for 1. Working the elbow. The jumper off by Kennedy Paul. Rudolph hands it to Hannah White, and they get into their offensive set. .14 remaining on the shot clock. Down low position for Hannah White. Tough layup, and she gets it to go. That's 2 in a row for Hannah White. Hornets currently on a 9-0 run, picking up where they left off to end the first quarter. Pass was fumbled, and it'll be a jump ball. And it will be Alabama State basketball. Courtney Lee is set to check in. Hannah White will get a breather. Crawford, top of the key, surveying. Crawford finds Akerson, couldn't bang home the 3. And the Panthers look to push in transition once again. Good stout defense by Alabama State. Hornets playing good stout defense. Ice the screen. Elbow jumper no good. That ball gets batted out. Good hustle attempt by Keasia Williams. Panthers get a second opportunity at life in this possession. 10 seconds on the shot clock. A little too aggressive on the defensive effort. Courtney Lee will get called for that foul. Only her first foul of the evening. Hornets making a few substitutions. Ayana Emanuel will come in the game, as will Hannah White and Zamoria Clark. Emanuel only getting 4 minutes in the early going to this game. 0 for 1. They look to her for a lot of the offensive output. Peters on the pick and roll. Good pass to Williams, and that shot is blocked. Zamoria Clark with stout defense for Alabama State. The possession will go to Alabama State. Hannah White tied up down low. Rudolph is going to try a three. Well short. Perez with the loose ball. They get out in transition. And it'll be a turnover. Dominique Newman stepped out of bounds. It'll be Alabama State basketball. Deep low post position for Emmanuel. She gets up and in. That'll be her first field goal of the afternoon. High pick and roll leads to the three. That shot is off the mark by Newman. It'll be Alabama State basketball. Courtney Lee gets it to Hannah White. Emmanuel off the high screen. Looks to drive. And that foul call will go against Kennedy Hurd. Hurd not happy about the call. So Hornets get 20 seconds on the shot clock with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Rudolph working Perez. Clark posts up Hannah White. That shot is blocked down low by Rachel Williams. 6'2" freshman out of Katy, Texas. We'll have a media timeout. We'll be back with more on the Hornet Sports Network. Welcome back to the Hornet Sports Network, where the Hornets have a 6-point advantage against the Prairie View Panthers. They lead with just under 5 minutes to go in this first half. The Panthers have been held scoreless for the past 6 minutes on a stint that has lasted since the end of the first quarter. As you see the shot clock violation against Alabama State. Since the end of the first quarter, the Hornets have gone on an 11-0 run. The run overall has been a 14-3 run that has lasted the past 8 minutes of regulation. That'll be an offensive foul against Kennedy Hurd on the push-off on Ayanna Emmanuel. That'll be her second foul of the afternoon. Keani Berry will check in for the Hornets. Emmanuel will have a seat. Your Hornets on the floor right now: Hannah White, Tyesha Rudolph, Courtney Lee, Zamoria Clark. And Tyesha Rudolph, who is inbounding. Pass is intercepted, and the Panthers will set up their offense. Perez probing. Shot clock down to 7. Panthers have to get a shot off. And the shot will be no good. Jariah Cobb will get called for the travel. And the scoring drought continues to bite the Panthers. That inbounds pass is batted away. It'll remain Alabama State ball. They'll have a second go at it. Clark gets it to Courtney Lee. Lee advances to Jayla Crawford, the leading scorer for the Hornets. Errant pass. It'll go straight to Perez. Perez on the drive, makes the pretty pass, and Newman will convert on the easy deuce. And that ends a scoring drought of just over 7 minutes for the Panthers. A well-needed bucket for them. Deep low post position. Nia Smith no good on the layup. And it will be a Prairie View basketball. On the drive, the pull-up jumper is good. 2 straight buckets by Dominique Newman. Panthers applying pressure here. Jayla Crawford on the crossover. Dump off pass down low. Shot is blocked. And Newman comes up with the loose ball. You can feel the momentum swinging. Hornets have been scoreless the past 3 minutes of play, and they're just one of the last 6 field goal attempts. The layup attempt is off by Cobb, and Hornets come away with it. Hannah White looks to push in transition. And she'll draw the foul. Perez will pick up that one. That'll be the second on Tatiana Perez. The Panthers have brought this lead down to 2 points against Alabama State with less than 3 minutes to go in this first half. Good inbound pass and finish by Tyesha Rudolph. That's just her first field goal of the afternoon, starting 1 for 2. Elbow jumper off the mark. Fight for the loose ball. Alabama State will come up with it. They're tied up, and Taylor Akerson will come up with it. Head coach Frida Freeman Jackson calls a timeout. She wants to talk it over with her team. And we'll be back with more on the Hornet Sports Network. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Hornet Sports Network, where the Hornets are clinging to a 4-point lead, which is 2 minutes remaining in this first half. That basket will not count. Taisha Rudolph will pick up the offensive foul. Another Alabama State turnover. They have 10 thus far. Remember, they're coming off a season-high 32 turnovers in their 10-point loss against Alcorn State. It hasn't burned them thus far. The Panthers have 7 turnovers on their own. Newman gets a pocket pick clean, and the Hornets give it right back. That'll be a foul call. I believe Courtney Lee will pick up that one. Yes, indeed, she does. Jayla Crawford will check into the game. Courtney Lee will take a breath. On the ball, Jada Martin. Hannah White defending. High screen pick and roll. They get the switch. Rachel Williams calling for the ball. Oh, a tough fall. We have a player down. I believe it's Hannah White. Took a tough fall, but looks like she'll be all right. However, she will pick up her first foul of the afternoon. Getting set to check in for the first time this evening, Armani Smith. Seems the officials want to discuss what happened on the last play. A replay. That's so the officials want to review that last play involving Hannah White and Rachel Williams. They had the mismatch down low, and Williams was calling for the ball, looking to take advantage of the mismatch. And it led to that play call that the officials want to review. So the ruling on the floor was a common foul. Referees are reviewing to see if they will upgrade it to a flagrant. I believe they want to see if Hannah White may have pulled her down on the floor. So it appears the officials had come up with a ruling. We'll find out in just a few seconds. Again, the call on the floor was a common foul, and the referees were checking to see if it will be upgraded to a flagrant. So the ruling was a common foul, and the Panthers will get a second opportunity. 14 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Martin on the floater, no good. Hornets clean it up. Outlet pass to Jalen Crawford. Crawford pulls up. No good. Offensive rebound. No good. Panthers in transition. Pull-up jumper by Peters off the mark. And Hannah White comes away with it. Jalen Crawford, one man to beat. And that layup is blocked. Stout defense by Jada Martin. Less than a minute to go here in this first half. Martin on the pass, no good. That layup attempt by Rachel Williams comes up empty. Hannah White pushing the tempo. Shot clock is off, and the Hornets will be smart to settle for one shot, which they do. 10 seconds left. Hannah White gets it to Samoria Clark. Clark to Nia Smith, and she converts on the deep layup. And that will be the end of your first half. The Hornets lead at this point 24-16. Hannah White continues to lead all scorers with 8, and Anaya Smith is right behind her with 6 points on the afternoon. For the Panthers, Newman leads the scores on that end with 8 points. She's shooting 3 of 6. At the end of the first half, the Hornets shooting is up to 33%, and the Panthers are shooting 26% on the afternoon. And we'll be back after halftime here on the Hornet Sports Network. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Hornet Sports Network, where the Hornets end the first half with a 24-16 lead. The shooting numbers for both teams on the afternoon. The Hornets shooting 8 of 24 from the field, good for 33%. The Panthers shooting at Hornets have a +2 advantage in that aspect. However, the Panthers have one more offensive rebound as we get this second half started. The leading scorer for the Hornets in the first quarter was Jayla Crawford. She had 8 points. She was 3 of 6 from the field, drained 2 3-pointers. First attempt, the first half of the second half is up and good by Bernicia Peters. Panthers continuing to provide pressure. Jayla Crawford open for 3, and she buries it. She is 3 of 3 from three-point land on the night. She's up to 11 points on the afternoon. 3 seconds in the lane against the Panthers, and Alabama State will regain possession. Now this is the largest lead for Alabama State, that being 7. Extending back to the second quarter preview, it's just 1 for its last 6 field goal attempts. That first attempt by Bernicia Peters. Deep post position for Anaya Smith, and she converts with the shot clock winding down. That's just her second field goal of the afternoon, but she has made 4 free throws in the process. She has 8 points. Tough layup attempt, and Alabama State's going to get called for the foul. Kennedy Paul will head to the free throw line to shoot a pair of free throws. Anaya Smith will pick up that foul. It's just her first. Team's first of the quarter. First attempt is no good by Paul. So Kennedy Paul splits a pair of free throws. His lead is cut to 8. Emmanuel finds White, and White will initiate the offense. They go back down to Anaya Smith, and she gets stuffed at the rim. That should be an offensive foul, and it is. Kennedy Paul with the shove, and Alabama State will have another attempt. That'll be Kennedy Paul's first foul. Deep low post position on the inbounds. And Ayana Emmanuel, who's been very quiet this afternoon, will be at the free throw line to shoot a pair of free throws. Emmanuel on the evening, just 2 field goal attempts. She's 1 of 2 for just 2 points. These will be her first attempts of the afternoon. Now, she does sport the best free throw shooting percentage of her team. She shoots 82% on the year. Goes 1 for 2 that time, but Alabama State gets an offensive rebound. Hannah White with a hustle play. They'll get a full shot clock advantage. White on the drive. Dishes it down to Anaya Smith, and she can't handle the loose ball. It will remain Alabama State ball.
Checking into the Panther line, number 12, Dominique Newell.
Low post position again. Zamoria Clark unable to finish. Anaya Smith just picked up her third foul. Taisha Rudolph is set to check in for the Lady Hornets. That third foul is going to force head coach Freddie Freeman Jackson to put Anaya Smith on the bench for a little while. Hornets have been playing good defense thus far. Hornets are currently on a 6-1 run to begin the second half. Good low post position, good move. And Keasia Williams gets the layup down low. That's her first field goal of the afternoon. Crawford thought about the pull-up jumper. She kicks it out to Anna White. Crawford again open for three. No good. That's just her first miss from three-point land this afternoon. And the Panthers are out on a fast break. Open three-pointer off the mark. I believe we'll have a loose ball foul. That foul will go against Taisha Rudolph. That'll be her second foul, the team's third. And Hannah White will have a rest. Courtney Lee will check in for her. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Prairie View working with a lot of time. Driving baseline. The jumper is no good. That attempt by Newman. She led the Panthers in scoring in the first half with 8 points. It's Hornets basketball. And Courtney Lee assuming her ball handling duties. Crawford off the screen, kicks it out. Wide open, Taisha Rudolph, no good for three. Rebound goes to Courtney Lee, and they reset. Emmanuel rattles in the three-pointer, her first three-pointer of the evening. Newman trap. She drives into the lane. Pass is fumbled. And the flip up is good. Keasia Williams on the bucket. Lee off the screen. Clark had low post position. She wanted it. But Taisha Rudolph hands it off to Jayla Crawford. Clark going to work down low, leaves it well short. Ayana Emmanuel on the putback, and it'll be a shot clock violation against Alabama State, and they'll turn it over. Perez's pass is off the mark, and Alabama State comes up with the loose ball. On the drive left, no good by Emmanuel. And Jayla Crawford will be at the line to shoot a pair of free throws. Crawford good on a pair of free throws. shooting just 64% on the year. Off a high screen and roll, Perez goes down baseline. A layup rolls around, and it is good. Oh, my goodness. Pretty ankle breaker by Courtney Lee, but gets the crowd going, but they're just not getting to their offense. Emmanuel for three, and she'll draw the foul and be at the line for 3 free throw attempts. We'll go to media timeout. We'll be back with more on the Hornet Sports Network. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Hornet Sports Network, where we're midway into the third quarter. Hornets having a steady 8-point lead against the Prairie View Panthers. Jayla Crawford has had her footprints all over this game. She has 13 points to lead all scorers this afternoon. She's 4 of 8 from the field, 3 of 4 from three-point land. Helping her on the effort this afternoon has been Anaya Smith, but she's currently on the bench in foul trouble. She has 3 thus far. Head coach Frida Freeman Jackson obviously wanting to preserve her low post presence. Six seconds left on the shot clock. Hornets are going to have to work fast. That's another Alabama State turnover. They have 14 on the afternoon. Prairie View not far behind them with 11 on the evening as well. Jariah Cobb will draw the foul, and she will be at the free throw line to shoot a pair of free throws. Hannah White will pick up that foul. Getting set to check back in for the Hornets. Courtney Lee and Zamoria Clark will check back in. Good eye by Courtney Lee to try to feed Zamoria Clark down low for the easy layup. Kickball, obviously. Zamoria Clark gets the layup off, and it'll be Panther basketball. Perez's first attempts of the evening. She splits her first pair. Both teams in the bonus, so we'll switch sides of the court, and Taisha Rudolph will be at the line for a pair. Taisha Rudolph on the year, a 67% free throw shooter. She's 8 of 12 on the year. Perez looking to beat the trap. Good kick out. Three-point attempt, no good. "15 seconds on the shot clock. Pull-up jumper off the mark. It'll be Hornet basketball. Zamoria Clark with the good effort on the defensive end. Clark's first attempt, no good. On the year, she's a 57% free throw shooter. "13 seconds on the shot clock, and obvious travel call, and that'll be another Panther turnover. So with that turnover, the Panthers have officially usurped the Hornets in that aspect. They lead the turnover margin 16-15. Crawford pull-up jumper too strong. Perez on the rebound. They get out in transition. 2-on-2 fast break. At the elbow, jumper is good. Kennedy Paul with the elbow jumper. Exon. Reverse layup. No good. Panthers steady, trying to increase the tempo. Free throw line jumper is good. And the Panthers are slowly draining down this lead with the 126 remaining in this third quarter, excuse me. On the drive, Crawford will score the basket and be at the line for one more. She continues to put forth a fantastic effort this afternoon. She continues to lead all scorers with 15. She's 3 of 4 from three-point land, 2 for 2 from the line, and she will be at the line for one more. Cornelia almost had the steal attempt, but that leads to the floater. And the Panthers will have themselves a pair of free throws with less than a minute remaining in this third quarter. Points of the quarter are all knotted up for both teams. They have 15 apiece. Alabama State, though, they've drained 2 3-pointers, all 4 attempts. The Panthers haven't hit any in this third quarter. What's brought the Panthers back into this game has been the hot shooting in this third quarter. They're shooting 60% versus Alabama State's 30%. Alabama State, however, has been able to keep them at bay in this third quarter. The offensive rebound margin in their favor. They have 5 to Prairie View's 2. Pretty crossover, and they're going to wave the baskets. It'll be an offensive foul. About a 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Expect the Panthers to hold for 1. Five seconds on the shot clock. Off the screen, Perez is going to pull up, and she buries the jumper. And that will be the end of this third quarter. Prairie View ends this quarter making 3 of the last 4 field goal attempts, and Alabama State clings on to a 2-point game lead as we return for the fourth quarter here at the Dunn Oliver Acadome. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the fourth quarter here at the Doug Oliver Acadome, where the Lady Hornets lead against the Panthers of Prairie View. They lead at 39-37. Now, Alabama State had a 7-point lead as they began the third quarter. However, Prairie View got on to a very good run, and the shooting boosted their way to almost overtaking the Hornets. They shot 60% in that third quarter. Alabama State shot just 33% from the field. The starters to begin this fourth quarter: Ayana Emanuel, Hannah White, Taisha Rudolph, Kiani Berry, and Anaya Smith. Emanuel looking to post up. Good low post position for Berry. She kicks it back out. Tough layup, leaves it short. Offensive rebound, Alabama State. And the Panthers come up with the steal. That three-pointer off the mark. Hard foul, and it will be Alabama State basketball. Manuel off the screen. On the drive, floater off the mark. Another offensive rebound for Alabama State. But the Panthers come up with another steal. Pull-up jumper cashed in for two. Tatiana Perez with the jumper. So Perez has come alive in this second half. She now overtakes Newman in scoring. She leads the Panthers with 10 points. Dominique Newman is going to pick up the foul. Her second. Courtney Lee on the floor. She's playing with 3 fouls. Fight for the loose ball. It'll be a jump ball. Prairie View basketball. Prairie View looking for cutters. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Perez draws the foul, and she will be back at the free throw line to shoot a pair of free throws. So danger zone for Freeman Jackson. Courtney Lee, who is their leading assist lady, now has 4 fouls. So in this situation, she's going to opt to sit her until the closing minutes. The Panthers now have their first lead going back to the first quarter. Perez gives them a 2-point advantage with 7:51 remaining in this game. reaching foul against Prairie View. Peters will pick up that foul. Her first. Emmanuel driving to the lane. Layup is up and in with shot clock soon to expire. Emmanuel looking to be a little more aggressive. She was a bit tentative in the first half, only having 17 minutes in the game total. 14 on the shot clock. Peters off the screen. Puts the move on. Jump at the top of the key. Rims out. And that'll be a jump ball. Keani Berry showing some hustle. It'll be Alabama State basketball. So close game with 7 minutes remaining. We're all knotted up at 41 apiece. Jayla Crawford continues to lead all scorers with 15. Zamoria Clark with low post position. Quick attempt off the mark, but she gets her own rebound, and the offensive putback is good. Shot clock at 5. Panthers have to put a move on. Three is well short, and it'll be a shot clock violation against Prairie View. Emmanuel playing the high post. Emmanuel drives into the lane. Shot is no good. Gets stuffed at the rim. And Jayla Crawford, she's upset with herself. Gambled on the steal, and she picks up a foul.
Number 3, her second.
10 seconds on the shot clock for Prairie View. Hannah White goes under the screen. And it'll be an illegal screen. Gerard Cobb will pick up that one. Her second foul. Hornets now officially in the bonus, so any more fouls at this point will send them to the free throw line. As it seemed, the Hornets shoot 64%. Of course, Ayana Emmanuel leading at 82% on the year. Wide open three off the mark by Taisha Rudolph. Perez pulls up the foul line, draws some contact, and she will be at the line. So Perez not being afraid to be aggressive. She finds herself at the free throw line. We'll have a media timeout. Stay tuned on the Hornet Sports Network. Welcome back to the fourth quarter here at the Dunn Oliver Acadome, where the Lady Hornets find themselves clinging to a 2-point lead with 4:40 remaining in this ball game. They've led majority of the way. However, in this fourth quarter, it's been a bit of a back and forth effort between the two teams. Prairie View briefly led in the fourth quarter. Last time they led, the score is 41-39. Tatiana Perez leads the Panthers in scoring with 14. On the Hornets side, Jayla Crawford leads all scorers with 15. She's 5 of 10 from the field, 3 of 4 from deep. A little bit of foul trouble for Alabama State as Emmanuel posts up, pulls the headband down, and the Panthers come away with the steal. Courtney Lee is currently playing with 4 fouls. Well, she's not playing with 4 fouls, but she has 4 fouls, and Freeman Jackson will elect not to play here until the deep endings of this game. Turnovers for the Hornets. They stand at 20 on the night. As Keasia Williams draws the foul, she will be at the line and shoot a pair. Now, Alabama State only has 3 steals on the evening. However, Prairie View has a grand total of 9, that margin being +6 in their favor. On the fast break, Prairie View has found some success. They have 14 fast break points to Alabama's 10. That free throw gives Prairie View a 1-point advantage. Alabama State in a little bit of a danger zone. They've been held scoreless the past almost 3 minutes. Their last field goal coming from Zamoria Clark with 6:33 left in that game, as you see another turnover. Elbow jumper, no good. Offensive rebound, and the putback is up and in. Freeman Jackson wants to talk it over. She calls timeout. We'll be back as the Hornets falling themselves down by 4. Stay tuned with the Hornet Sports Network. Welcome back to the Hornet Sports Network here at the Dunn Oliver Acadome, where the Hornets find themselves down 4 with 3:05 remaining in this game. The Hornets have led majority of the way, but they found themselves in a little bit of a scoring drought. They've been held without a point for the past 3:30. Their last field goal is coming from Zamoria Clark, number 35, when she hit a layup with 6 minutes and 33 seconds in the fourth quarter. Now, Prairie View is currently on a 6-0 run. Hornets looking to end that scoring drought. 15 seconds remaining on the shot clock, and careless pass by Courtney Lee leads to the easy deuce. Turnovers biting Alabama State time and time again. The lead has ballooned to 6, and Emmanuel driving to the lane. She gets called for the travel. That's back-to-back turnovers for Alabama State. You feel the pressure mounting against them. Emmanuel called for the reach-in foul. She's not happy with the call. She thought it was all ball. That'll be her third foul. Prairie View in the bonus. So some free throws coming up for Kennedy Hurd. Zamoria Clark is set to check back in for the Hornets. Prairie View now has their largest lead of the evening. The score 50-43. Time slowly dwindling down for the Hornets. And Prairie View decides to apply a touch of pressure. Manuel finds Akerson. 15 on the shot clock. Less than 2 minutes to go here in the fourth. Good ball movement by Alabama State. And they cash in on the open three-pointer by Hannah White. A much-needed basket for Alabama State that ends a scoring drought of just over 4 minutes. It's a 4-point game with 1:30 remaining. Good hustle by Zamoria Clark. Forces a loose ball. And it'll be a loose ball foul against Prairie View. Alabama State getting some key stops here in this fourth quarter. 1:19 remaining, and they're down 4. One for 2 at the line, but the Hornets fight for the loose ball and they get a second chance opportunity. 15 on the shot clock. One possession game. They don't have to rush. They don't have to rush for a shot. They can play within their offense. Erickson coming off the screen. Three-pointer banks it in, and we have a tie ball game with 1 minute remaining. Timeout. Prairie View. We'll be back with more from the Hornet Sports Network. Welcome back to the Hornet Sports Network, where we have a tied ball game with exactly a minute remaining, following a pair of free throws from Taylor Akerson and a clutch baked-in three-pointer. Alabama State has gone on a 7-0 run when they found themselves down 7 here in the late innings of this fourth quarter. 55 seconds remaining, and Alabama State has to play for a key defensive stop. Crowd getting into the game at this point. Pass is fumbled, and it'll be a turnover for Prairie View. Alabama State basketball. 42 seconds remaining left in this game. Courtney Lee playing with 4 fouls. Pass almost intercepted. Taylor Akins and another three-pointer off the mark. Offensive rebound. Zamoria Clark rolls off the rim, but she gets the foul, and she will be at the line for a pair of free throws. Great opportunity for Alabama State to capitalize and take a lead in this fourth quarter. Zamoria Clark on the year, just a 57% free throw shooter coming into this one. Some big ones here. Remember, Alabama State Lady Hornets are looking to end a 4-game slide. First free throw, no good. She has one more, though. Second attempt, no good. And Prairie View will call a timeout. They'll talk it over, and we will be back after this. Stay tuned to the Hornet Sports Network. Welcome back to the Hornet Sports Network. The shot clock is off, and we have a tie game at 50. Panthers. Jumper is good. 20.7 seconds remaining in this ball game, and Bernicia Peters has just given the Lady Panthers a 2-point lead. Alabama State will call a timeout. Again, clutch foul line jumper for Bernicia Peters. She's sort of struggled on the night. 0 for 4 from three-point land. 3 of 10 from the field, just 6 points. But she may have just hit the biggest shot of the afternoon. Now, obviously, Alabama State has some options here on the offensive end. Jayla Crawford has been in her bag all evening long. She has 15 points to lead all scorers. She's 3 of 4 from three-point land. Then you have Ayani Emanuel, who's 3 of 6 from the field, 1 three-pointer on the night. And then there's Hannah White. 7 points on the evening, 3 of 5 from the field, a three-pointer, 1 coming in late in this fourth quarter. That was a part of the 7-0 run that got Alabama State back into this ball game. .7 seconds remaining in this ball game. Courtney Lee brings it upfield. 12 seconds on the shot clock. 8 seconds in regulation. Emmanuel putting the move on. Layup is up, but we have a foul call. She took a shot to the side of the head. She will be at the free throw line for 2 critical free throws. 4 seconds remaining in regulation. So 2 huge free throws coming up for Emmanuel. She's 82% on the year. Second attempt is good. 2 very clutch free throws for Ayanna Emmanuel, the team's leading scorer on the year. Prairie View wants to talk it over for the final 4 seconds of regulation. Will we see a dagger, or will we be going to overtime? Find out when we return from the Hornet Sports Network. Four seconds left in regulation. Perez, 1 second. Shot is up and no good. Clips the front of the rim, and we are headed to overtime. Ayanna Emmanuel with 2 of the biggest free throws of the afternoon. She ties this ball game, and we are headed to overtime. We're back here in overtime at the Dunn Oliver Acadome, where we're all knotted up at 52 apiece. Ayanna Emmanuel sending this game into overtime with 2 clutch free throws after Taylor Erickson buried a free throw and a very clutch three-pointer to tie it up at 50 apiece. Hannah White, Anaya Smith, deep position, and she gets called for the travel. Good, strong post defense by the Panthers, and they force the turnover. Perez bringing the ball past half court. They get into their sets. Peters, who hit a jumper in the fourth quarter to give the Panthers a 2-point lead, drives into the lane, layup too strong, and the Hornets clean it up. Alabama State ended regulation on a 9-2 run. Courtney Lee on the drive. Floater off the glass, no good. Rachel Williams on the glass, clean it up. Peters bringing it up, and they'll slow the tempo. Working with the full 20 on shot clock. Baseline jumper, well short. Zamaria Clark on the glass, clean it up. Alabama State will have another opportunity. Emmanuel finds Anaya Smith, post up. Good post position. She gets the layup to go. And Alabama State breaks the seal here in overtime, 54-52. 3:05 remaining in overtime. Peters, pull-up jumper. Left it short, offensive glass. Offensive rebound, back to Peters. Her three-pointer, no good. Another offensive rebound. Fight for the loose ball, and Courtney Lee comes up with it. Alabama State out in transition. 3-on-2 fast break. Ayan Emmanuel, three-pointer, no good. Newman comes up with the loose ball. Panthers have not scored in overtime to this point, and Alabama State continues their run starting from the fourth quarter. It's currently sitting at 11-2. Prairie View has been held scoreless the past 3 minutes. Working out of the post, it's Paul. Baby hook, no good. Fight for the loose ball. Officials will rule a jump ball. And Panther possession. Prairie View has a second crack at it. Four seconds left on the shot clock. Panthers have to move quickly. Probably a shot off the inbound. They get it in. Rosenthal is going to have to force it. Jumper is up. Doesn't draw iron. It'll be a shot clock violation. Alabama State basketball. Hannah White bringing the ball. She's hit 3 of her last 4 shots. Turnover for Alabama State. Out on the fast break. And we will have a blocking call against Hannah White. I was afraid it might have been Courtney Lee. She's playing with 4 fouls at this point.
At the line, shooting 2 for Prairie View, number 4, Kiana Tolbert.
Kiana Tolbert will be at the line to shoot a pair of free throws. We are in the bonus. And she will have an opportunity to tie this ball game up. Second free throws are off the mark. Jayla Crawford comes up with the, oh my goodness, no. Errant pass at Alabama State gives Prairie View another opportunity to take the lead. So an unforced error may be a costly one. 1:49 remaining in this first overtime. The men of Alabama State will take on men will be right up after this. Still a lot of time left in this overtime. And a clutch steal by Zamoria Clark. Alabama State clinging to a 1-point lead. .14 on the shot clock. Courtney Lee called for the travel. That turnover marks the 27th for Alabama State. Another costly turnover. Let's hope it doesn't come back to bite them. On the drive, kick out to the corner. 3 ball, too strong. Loose ball, Courtney Lee comes up with it. Hannah White couldn't handle the pass. It goes back. Goes back to the Panthers. 45 seconds in this game. 22 seconds left on the shot clock. Panthers looking for any kind of opportunity to score. Deep post position. And we have a foul. That one will go on to Zamoria Clark. Kennedy Paul will be at the line to shoot a pair of clutch free throws. Important free throws, I should say. First free throw off the mark. Prairie View has missed their last one, just hit one field goal in their last 9 attempts. Excuse me. Second free throw is good. 4-second difference between shot clock and game clock. This could be the possession that gives Alabama State a much-needed win to end this 4-game losing streak. Frida Freeman Jackson wants to talk it over, and we'll be back after this timeout. Welcome back to the first overtime here at the Dunn Oliver Acadome, where the Hornets are all knotted up against the Prairie View Panthers. It's been a rough overtime. Lead not safe for either team. But Kennedy Paul hit a free throw before the timeout that Alabama State took to knock this game all up at 54 apiece. Now there's a 4-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And I feel that Frida Freeman Jackson has devised something in her bag of tricks to help Alabama State come up with the win. They currently sit at a 4-game losing streak, and they want to put an end to that this afternoon. Courtney Lee to inbound. Rudolph off the screen. Courtney, top of the key, 10 seconds on the shot clock. 5 seconds behind the back. Difficult pass. And Zamoria Clark draws the foul. She will be at the line to shoot a pair of key free throws in an attempt to break this tie. Shot clock is off. Jara Cobb picked up that foul. That'll be her third. Clark, one free throw left. And it's off the mark. Prairie View wants to talk it over. They have 5.7 seconds to work with in an attempt to steal this game on the road against an Alabama State that is thirsty for a win. I'll be back after this. Five seconds left in regulation. Perez, ball in her hands, takes it into her own accord, and we're headed to a second overtime here at the Dunn Oliver Acadome. We are all knotted up at 54 apiece. This has been a thriller, folks. So before we get into the second overtime, a look at some of the stats for both teams. Alabama State has a +3 rebounding advantage. That advantage coming on the offensive glass. They have 13 to Prairie View's 10. They are all knotted up on the defensive glass. Alabama State has 12 assists to Prairie View's 4. However, turnovers have been another big issue for Alabama State. They're sitting currently at 28 on the afternoon after coming off of a season-high 32 turnovers in a 10-point loss against Alcorn State this past Monday. Prairie View is looking to make it 3 wins in a row on the road against a tough Alabama State team that so badly wants to end their 4-game losing streak. Both teams have gone dry from the field, both shooting in the low 30s. Alabama State shooting 34%, Prairie View shooting 32% as we get this second overtime on the way. Alabama State wins out from the tip, and Courtney Lee has the ball. She's playing with 4 fouls, a dangerous position to be in, as she is the leading assist lady for the Hornets, averaging 3 assists a game. Ayane Emanuel. 14 seconds on the shot clock. She'll have to take her man on. Pretty crossover. Corner 3. No good. Paul on the rebound. And Prairie View will have a chance to get the first bucket of overtime. Pick and roll. Free throw line jumper. It's good. Keasia Williams breaks the seal and gives the Panthers a 2-point lead in overtime. Emmanuel working in the high post. Tied up. Gets it back to Courtney Lee. 5 seconds on the shot clock. She'll have to work quickly. Ayana. Step back. No good. It'll be a shot clock violation against the Hornets in the possession they so desperately needed. Alabama State has not made a field goal since 3:13 in the first overtime, when Anaya Smith hit a layup to give the Hornets a 2-point lead. On the drive, that layup is up and good. Keasia Williams. Hornets down 4. They desperately need a basket. They've gone scoreless over the past 5 minutes. It's a 6-0 run for the Panthers. That jumper off the mark. You can feel the momentum slowly swinging in the Panthers' favor. Hornets need to stop. Keasia Williams looking for another one. Layup no good. Jella Crawford comes up with the rebound. They're trapping in the corner. Jump ball. Let's see. We'll wait for the referees to decide who has possession. It will be Panthers basketball. Excuse me, they say it's Alabama State basketball. We'll have to take a timeout. We're having technical difficulties. We'll be back on the Hornet Sports Network. Welcome back to double overtime here at the Don Oliver Acadome. Hornets currently down 4 to the Prairie View Panthers. Couldn't handle the pass. Campbell, top of the key. Good hands by Zamoria Clark. Keani Berry with the deflection. Perez on the drive. Tough defense. And Alabama State will come up with the loose ball. .2:11 remaining in this double overtime game. Both teams have fought hard. And of course, only one can come away. The current Hornets on the floor. Taylor Akerson, Taisha Rudolph, Hannah White, Ayana Emanuel, and Keani Berry. White finds Rudolph. Rudolph penetrating. A layup up and in. A much needed bucket for Alabama State. It's a 2-point game. Peters putting the move on. .14 on the shot clock. Williams kicks it out. Jumper rattles in and out. That should be Alabama State basketball, and it is. 1:21 remaining in this double overtime game, and Alabama State has an opportunity to tie or take the lead with a three-pointer. Hannah White looks exhausted. She's played 35 minutes tonight, but she's going to power through for this last home stretch. 18 on the shot clock. Rudolph, left side. White, off the pick. Jumper, too strong. Panthers come away with it. Less than a minute remaining here in double overtime. This would be a heartbreaker to lose, but Alabama State is just one of the last 5 attempts from the field. Prairie View wants to talk it over. We'll be back after this. We are back here at the Don Oliver Acadome, where the Hornets are currently facing a 2-point deficit here in double overtime. They've made just one of their last 5 field goal attempts. Taisha Rudolph getting them within 2 points following a layup at the 1:53 mark of double overtime. Keisha Williams hit the last basket for the Panthers of Prairie View, and it's currently their possession. So expect them to go back into her hands. Perez working with 17 on the shot clock. 42 remaining in double overtime. Seven seconds. Perez in the lane, and she converts. 1 second difference between shot clock and game clock. Alabama State has to move fast. And that turnover might just do it. Emmanuel will foul Peters, and she will be at the line. Shot clock is off, and 16.6 seconds remain in this game.
Emmanuel, that's her fourth. At the line, shooting two, Bernice Peters.
First free throw is good. And it just feels with that one, this game may be out of reach for the Hornets. A valiant effort on their part, but barring a miracle, it'll be a tough afternoon. It's been a hard-fought battle. Certainly a battle that you want to come out on top of. Officials discussing something of the sort, but I believe they'll elect to let Peter shoot her last free throw. Oof. Peters has one more free throw. Freeman Jackson will call another timeout. 15.3 remaining in this ball game here in double overtime, and we'll be back. Welcome back to a double overtime affair that sees the Hornets down 5 with 15.3 remaining in this ball game. It's been a hard-fought afternoon for the ladies. They have three players with 4 fouls: Ayana Emmanuel, Hannah White, and Courtney Lee, all playing with 4. And it seems that they will not come away with a win in this one. This will extend their losing streak to 5 games and put their overall in-conference record to 2-6, 5-14 overall. At home, where they've been stout, they were 4-3 coming into this game. They will now go back to 500 in their next game. It'll remain on the campus of Alabama State. They'll take on Texas Southern Monday against Texas Southern at 5:30. Prairie View timeout, and we'll be back after this. Folks, we're back, and we're down to the last remaining 7 seconds of this double overtime game, in which Alabama State fought valiantly and fought bravely, but could not come away with a win. Taylor Atkinson will give that foul.
Alabama State foul number 22, Taylor Atkinson, her second. At the line, shooting two, Tatiana Perez.
At the line to close out this game, it'll be Tatiana Perez. She now leads all scorers with 16 on the afternoon. She was 5 of 9 from the floor, 1 of 2 from three-point land. And before she takes these next 2 attempts, she's currently sitting at 5 of 6 on the evening. She does have 4 steals, and that's played a big part in these Alabama State turnovers. They have 30 of them on the evening. And it's not something that I want to say, considering that their previous effort saw them turn the ball over 32 times, which was a season high. One last ditch effort. Oh, my goodness. That three-pointer will count, and it's a moral victory, of course. Your final score here at the Dunn Oliver Acadome, the Lady Hornets fall to the Panthers of Prairie View. The final score, 62-59. Jayla Crawford led the Hornets in scoring with 15. Anaya Smith and Ayana Emmanuel led right behind her, tied at 10 apiece for scoring. Zamoria Clark led the ladies on the glass. She had 8 rebounds on the evening and 5 assists as well, and a steal and a block to go along with it. However, turnovers plagued the Hornets once again, and it cost them now the same way it did in the loss against Alcorn State. However, they look to bounce back in their game against Texas Southern this upcoming Monday. They take on the Tigers at 5:30. For Prairie View, Tatiana Perez led all scorers with 17, 5 of 9 from the field, 6 of 8 from the free throw line. She also had 4 steals to go along with it. It was just an overtime game where Alabama State just supposedly ran out of gas and couldn't bring the energy to end what now stands as a 4-game losing streak. We'll be back with the men after this. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.